Hallo and welcome to Abenteuer und Allrad in Bad Kissingen. This is a very interesting under 6 meters, 590 centimeter, 4x4 monocoque vehicle. So it looks bigger than it is. But anyway, I'll give you there's some of the details. 880 litre fresh water tank isolated, 80 litre plus 80 litre, so up to 160 wastewater, 100 ampere hour battery, but could be upgraded to 200, and all the other stuff. I won't go through the whole thing now. Right, so what this has got on a layout is somewhat unusual. So this company, Gulliver, is based in Vicenza in Italy, and this is an older model, so it's not a new one they brought with them, but to give an example, but I think giving an example, it's a pretty good example. For the single bed up there, and you know, I'm now travelling by myself, seeing as the dogs disappeared and gone on to the next world. And so for people in my position, or people who can sleep together like that, well, fair enough. But I note that down here we also have the possibility of a bed, also because we have these supports down there. So, and presumably the cushions would fit in there with no problem at all. Right, so coming around here, 2 burners. So you see, that's the fashion for 2022, and whenever this was built, it must have been the fashion as well. We've got here a domestic setup. So the sink, I think, is relatively large. Bear in mind, 6 meter wide, long vehicle. And here is the bed with plenty of storage underneath. I'll just open a couple of things there just to make the point. And there you go. And let's hope that the toilet's been left in a clean state. Indeed it has. Well, it's broken clean state, but it's a... And that really, for 6 meter vehicle, you've got an enormous amount of space in here. So that gives you an idea. Really, that's an enormous rear washroom. But the price to pay for a rear washroom is that there is nothing in the garage. So the garage external storage could be quite small. Now, I said 195 centimeters of standing height inside. I must admit, I thought it was, oh, maybe it is. And but what you see here, though, in a vehicle of this size, is you've got all this space. So it certainly does give the idea of space. I think it could perhaps be sort of slightly better arranged. One idea, for example, that could do something like this is that they could have and this is offered. You can put a bed in. Now, I normally don't like beds in the interior, but in the case of a small van, you haven't really got much choice. So I could have a bed up there or something, which drops down. Of course, they have to make the exterior higher, and that obviously would use more fuel up. As the vehicle was in motion. Now, here in this case, there's heating, so I suppose that could also be built according to demand. And tables there, and the table should fit down there. So I think on the whole, that's the idea's pretty good. And let's have a look in here as well, just to make the point. So more storage there, and that is, I presume, for the external step as well. And yeah, quite nice. Let's have a look on the outside now, having seen the internal bit. Now, as it's on a 4x4, so it's raised quite a lot. And can we see? And right, that's a bit difficult to go out all the way. I'll have to come around here to see from the other side, I think. This at the same time gives you an idea of Abenteuer und Allrad. You've got all of these vehicles and the possibilities. So, alright, so that's what this side looks like. So obviously monocoque comes with its price, but it does have its advantages as well. A single shell means that parts aren't glued together on the outside, and therefore unless you puncture it somehow, the water isn't going to get in between the cracks where the glue has come apart, and the glue does come apart. So there you go. I think that's an interesting design, and we didn't have a new one to see, but at least we saw an old one, and an old one is as good as an old one, isn't it? I mean, so at least we got a chance to see it. Thanks very much for watching, and all the best from me in Bad Kissingen, Germany.